Okay, I know I shouldn't do this. I know I've done a lot of BAS LE CIEL videos in the past. I thought I put it behind me. And maybe I have. I might not upload this. But there's just something about a BAS LE CIEL videos that like... They're so fun to watch when they're good. Because he makes some good videos. He does. But let's be fair, he makes some good videos. But like, to react to them, I know react content slop, but I just fucking love reacting to his videos. So, I'm doing this for me, not for you. I might not even upload it. I'm just gonna enjoy watching this video, which has a title: Being an intellectual. How, not why. That's got to be the #1, like quintessential or whatever, like perfect a BAS LE CIEL video title of all time. He is self-aware, absolutely. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's see where we're going. If I get bored, if it's not going anywhere, I'll stop. But I think it's going to be, I'm going to enjoy it. That's all that matters, right?
No, look, I mean...
No role models. No role models.
No, it's a great topic.
Sure.
No, look, I mean...
No role models. No role models.
No, it's a great topic.
Okay, so already, like what I like about this is like it's got old school like camcorder feel to it, and it's simply because basically, you know, they say lights, camera, action, right? It goes in that order. You could actually have a pretty shit camera, believe it or not, and if you push loads of lights on, it's really good. When good cameras really perform is in low light, and even the best camera in low light is not going to be that good. But so what is here? Obviously the lighting's not that good, right? He's not got the full lights on or anything, but it's actually giving this like great feel, which we older people like me will remember from just like camcorders, you know, when I had fucking tapes in them and shit. It's a fucking great look. It might not be intentional, it might be, I don't know, but I like it. Maybe it is intentional, because it's like the aspect ratios, I mean, it's not like the camcorders, but it's, sorry, I got burpees, but yeah. Okay, I'm getting a bit too excited already. I'm just excited for this video. Okay, so yeah, it's got that whole fucking, could have been made in the 90s feel. If it was intentional, he's a fucking genius.
I mean, in some ways, it's the shallowest thing in the world. You know, like, what does this label mean, you know, to be an intellectual? Or, you know, and I'm asking this at a time in 2018 when almost...
Maybe not like actually just like the old VH, maybe like the first... This is more like about... The feel is more like the first webcams, you know? Okay, I've interrupted too much. I'm getting way too excited. It's been a long time since I've done a BAS LE CIEL reaction, and as you know, I do enjoy them.
No, look, I mean...
No role models. No role models.
No, it's a great topic. I mean, in some ways, it's the shallowest thing in the world. You know, like, what does this label mean, you know, to be an intellectual? Or, you know, and I'm asking this at a time in 2018 when almost nobody uses the label. And when it is laughed at...
You know, that's actually a fucking good point. People don't really say intellectual that much anymore. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to try and pace
No, look, I mean...
No role models. No role models.
No, it's a great topic. I mean, in some ways, it's the shallowest thing in the world. You know, like, what does this label mean, you know, to be an intellectual? Or, you know, and I'm asking this at a time in 2018 when almost nobody uses the label.
Oh, it's an old video.
And when it is laughed at, you know, Sam Harris.
He just said it's 2018. It's an old video. Well, old-ish. What's that? 6.5 years ago? 7 years ago? Okay. I'm going to start again, right? I'm not going to do this again. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go back to the beginning again. I'm going to try and pace myself.
No, look, I mean...
No role models. No role models.
No, it's a great topic. I mean, in some ways, it's the shallowest thing in the world. You know, like what does this label mean, you know, to be an intellectual? Or, you know, and I'm asking this at a time in 2018 when almost nobody uses the label. And when it is laughed at, Sam Harris has tried to revive the label and talks about the intellectual dark web and this, and it is laughable. It is worth scoffing at. It is worth ridiculing. You know, it's true. I mean, like I say, are you wearing a cowboy hat because you're actually a cowboy? Or is it dressed up for Halloween? Some people are real intellectuals and some are not. As absurd as...
as much as I fucking can sometimes deride or whatever, like he has some really good analogies and shit. I'm gonna go back to just this is the only time I'm gonna go back just to hear that analogy again about the cowboy hats. It was fucking brilliant, to be fair. Like, brilliant analogy, man. I'm fucking definitely stealing that fucking analogy.
And when it is laughed at, Sam Harris has tried to revive the label and talks about the intellectual dark web and this, and it is laughable. It is worth scoffing at. It is worth ridiculing. You know, it's true. I mean, like I say, are you wearing a cowboy hat because you're actually a cowboy? Or is it dressed up for Halloween? Some people are real intellectuals and some are not. As absurd as it sounds, not only is it possible to work in something like the academic study of history and not be an intellectual, it's common. It's not just possible to do.
This is actually almost another good point. It depends what you mean by intellectual, but yeah, like there's some people who are totally focused on one thing only, and maybe the word instead of intellectual would be like hardcore academic or something, like the very narrow. Okay, I'm gonna go back just one little last time, man. I promise.
Some people are real intellectuals and some are not. As absurd as it sounds, not only is it possible to work in something like the academic study of history and not be an intellectual, it's common. It's not just possible to do humanitarian work in Laos and not be an intellectual. The vast majority are not. It's not just possible to be an artist and not be an intellectual. The vast majority are. So when we're looking for the trait, name the trait. What is the trait that makes someone?
This is one of those videos, like I said, like every now and again, man, this guy actually makes a good video. This could be one of those ones, where it's actually, like he's fucking making some pretty good points.
Intellectual. This is my way of putting it. I think part of being an intellectual is being perpetually, profoundly dissatisfied with your own ignorance.
That's a great quote, but is he applying it to himself? Is he saying part of being an intellectual is, and by saying that I'm an intellectual, I'm gonna go back again, for fuck's sake. Because that's a good quote, what he just said, right? But is he applying it to himself, saying he's an intellectual? That's what I'm interested in. But that is a good quote. I don't think I'm going to finish this video because he's actually making some really good points. And it's no fun for me to watch a video of a BAS Le Ciel where he's actually making good points after good points and hitting home runs and shit.
To be an artist and not be an intellectual, the vast majority are. So when we're looking for the trait, name the trait. What is the trait that makes someone intellectual? This is my way of putting it. I think part of being an intellectual is being perpetually, profoundly dissatisfied with your own ignorance.
I like that.
And then being perpetually, profoundly dissatisfied with the ignorance of your own society, the role of ignorance in the shaping of and functioning of your own society.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a way, that's a kind of negative way of saying. You could flip it and go, an intellectual is someone that seeks knowledge and wants to bring knowledge to the society. Okay, so you could say, not being happy with your own ignorance. You could flip that and go, wanting to seek new knowledge, and then the whole and being dissatisfied with the ignorance of the society. You could flip that and go, and bringing this knowledge to help bring knowledge to the society. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a negative spin with that particular phrase that he just said there.
I think part of being an intellectual is being perpetually, profoundly dissatisfied with your own ignorance. And then being perpetually, profoundly dissatisfied with the ignorance of your own society, the role of ignorance in the shaping of and functioning of your own society. And that may or may not exhibit itself in a really directly political way. What is the point? One answer, you've heard from me before on this YouTube channel. The point is who I am. The point is who you want to be and who you want to become, right? And on some level, we all know that. I mean, it's shallow and it's deep at the same time. Right. Like what you read and what you care about and what kind of difference you're trying to make in the world, these things, they become who you are and you become them in a very real sense.
Exactly.
If you...
This is the thing, man. Like, this guy, man. This video's not going the way I was thinking it was going to go. I'm fucking backing him up all the way. He's saying he's dropping some fucking truth bombs here, man. Do you know what I mean? He is actually dropping some truth bombs.
You've heard from me before on this YouTube channel. The point is who I am. The point is who you want to be and who you want to become, right? And on some level, we all know that. I mean, it's shallow and it's deep at the same time. Right. Like what you read and what you care about and what kind of difference you're trying to make in the world, these things, they become who you are and you become them in a very real sense.
Exactly.
If you sit on the couch and watch football and drink beer after work, you become...
I don't watch football. I do drink beer, but I do prefer wine.
Sitting on the couch, football watching motherfucker. That's who you are. It's not, you can't put that aside and say, oh no, that's not who I really am. That's
my true self.
You can't say that's not who I really am. That's just what I do in my free time. No,
you become what you
that
do.
That is.
There's this sort of idea of like you are what you do, right? And this is what he's talking about. And we're like, I don't know, getting close to like 3 minutes in. And I've not been able to take the piss out of BAS LE CIEL yet. Honestly, this is a good video from this guy. So far.
Is who you are, right? Or you could say your free time is exactly...
That's really hard to face up.
Yes. Yeah. That's well, I think that's also what haunts intellectuals, right? I think that's what it haunts. So, why try to learn Cree? It's not like I today can speak the Cree language fluently. Why try to learn Chinese? And why, within that, why care about Chinese politics?
No, and exactly why. This is what I'm interested in. Like, why? And this is what he does. I could, if you're going to do the things that he's doing, like learn Cree and learn Chinese and stuff, I think that's great if it's like a passion that you're interested in, but I'm thinking the explanation is going to be like more deep or something. I'm hanging on to straws here. He's been nailing it. It's 3 minutes now. He's been nailing it. This is very unusual. He's been right in everything he said, in my opinion, so far. Fucking full respect to the guy. I'm just clutching on straws that he's going to just go off.
In history in the kind of critical way that I do. Well, guess what? I get to be me. Why try to learn Cree? It's not like I today can speak the Cree language fluently. Why try to learn Chinese? And why, within that, why care about Chinese politics and history in the kind of critical way that I do? Well, guess what? I get to be me. That's the final outcome, is that it's not that this is something I do, that this is who I am.
That is fucking awesome. It's basically, that's what he does. He loves it. That's perfect. We've got to 3 minutes 17 in a BAS LE CIEL video, and all I've had and all I can have so far is absolute praise for everything he's fucking said. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is my point, man. Every now and again, this guy just fucking hits it out the park. Every now and again, he makes a good video. Okay, I know we've got like another 7 minutes to go, but you know.
This video has been a long time coming. I got a question many months ago from James. I'm just using first names. James is a longtime supporter on Patreon and someone who's also a vegan involved in baking. And I would guess in response to some video or another in which I used the word in passing, he asked me, what does it mean to you to be an intellectual? Or what is the meaning of being an intellectual in 2000?
Okay, now it might get interesting, you know. I just want to say as well, like at this point in this video, people who watch my channel or something, you may or may not realize, I think the perceptive or something maybe among you, the more perceptive might actually realize that this guy is a bit of an inspiration to me. And it's because for a long time, he'll just sit there, put the fucking video on and just talk whatever, you know? Sometimes it's pure bullshit, sometimes it's good, sometimes whatever, but he's kind of got the bravery or the confidence or something to do that. Like, I don't put my face on my videos, but you'll have noticed that, like I used to do lots of editing I do lots of editing, right? That was my thing. I loved doing that shit, and then I lost the passion and stuff. And you know, some of like watching, not just a BAS Le Ciel, some other people too, but like, just like he's got the confidence to just go on and just say what's on his mind. And I'll be honest, I think a lot of it's shit or wrong. And maybe he doesn't know that, or maybe he doesn't care. But it's like, honestly, I got some inspiration from this motherfucker, as much as I take the piss out of him, because, you know, it's like, you put yourself online, you can get the piss taken out of you, and sometimes some of the stuff he says deserves a reaction. But I'll be honest, man, like, it's been an inspiration a little bit to me to do, like, you know, anyone who's been watching me like the last like few years, like now I just talk to the fucking camera. I don't edit, I don't cut anything out. It's people like this, not just him, people like this who made me see you can just do that. Fucking turn the camera on, talk shit, you know what I mean? Respect to a BAS Le Ciel for that, at least. This is like, you know, other thing, I'm thinking this video might just be me just like licking his balls the whole fucking time. I apologize.
James. I'm just using first names. James is a longtime supporter on Patreon and someone who's also a vegan involved in baking. And I would guess in response to some video or another in which I used the word in passing, he asked me, what does it mean to you to be an intellectual? Or what is the meaning of being an intellectual in 2018. I got my best girl, Melissa, here off camera. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, it's not like I'm looking at notes I've written down from earlier or something. I'm not looking at my script.
I'm just going to skip over the best girl thing, you know? Let's just keep with the video. I'm now in a positive mood. I'm going to try to be positive from now on, actually. Let's skip the whole best girl shit.
You know, okay, I have like 6 different things to say here, and none of them are logically linked together. So like, one of the first things I have to say, I was chatting with T-Cat recently, and he meant this in a totally positive way, but he said, jokingly, he said, you know, Eisel, stop calling yourself an autodidact. He said that's one of those laughable things that makes everyone cringe. Like if you call yourself an autodidact, he said, this was his joke or what he was saying, he said, it's like calling yourself an entrepreneur, you know?
I don't think I even know what an autodidact is. In fact, I don't. What's an autodidact? Is it like writing your own life or something? Because didact reminds me of like writing. Auto means you do it or something. I don't know. I'm not a fucking intellectual, so I got no idea.
Now, I get the joke he's making, but this is one of those things. Wearing a cowboy hat isn't camp, and it isn't a costume if you're actually a cowboy.
Good
if
analogy.
you actually work on a ranch with cows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wearing spurs on your boots, it's not a Halloween costume if that's, if that's what you actually are. And, I get the joke he's trying to make. Like, there are people who call themselves an entrepreneur, maybe especially on YouTube, maybe especially within the vegan movement, or maybe especially just maybe in fitness or something. Maybe he's thinking of some other, I guess that's true, the fitness YouTubers. They make an ebook.
I'm guessing he's saying people, if I'm getting this right, he's saying people name themselves as experts or name themselves as something, like I'm a fitness guy. Well, did anyone else tell you you're a fitness guy? You just said it. Is that what he's talking about? Fuck, I'm gonna go back again. I'm sorry, I think I missed something.
Always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wearing spurs on your boots, it's not a Halloween costume if that's, if that's what you actually are. And, I get the joke he's trying to make. Like, there are people who call themselves an entrepreneur, maybe especially on YouTube,
Yes.
maybe especially within the vegan movement, or maybe especially just maybe in fitness or something. Maybe he's thinking of some other, I guess that's true, the fitness YouTubers. They make an ebook, or they say they're giving Skype coaching, and
Buy my ebook.
they call themselves an entrepreneur. Okay, once in a while, people using that word it's maybe cringeworthy. But what about the people who really are entrepreneurs, or people who really aspire to be, people who are studying hard and working?
Exactly. He's fucking nailing it. It's like 5 minutes 30. Everything he said is being spot on. This, I swear, I've said to all you guys who watch this man, like, some of his videos are great. So far, this is a great video.
Because that's really how they see their career path. And the reason I mention this, though, is the really sort of snide undercurrent, which I think prevents a lot of people from even thinking through what it means to be an intellectual, whether or not it's something they aspired to be in the past or present or future.
It's interesting because I don't really believe in the whole intellectual thing. I think there's academics and there's clever people or something, and there's this and that, but I don't really think there's intellectuals, or maybe any more or something. I think intellectual might be something in the past where you would talk about people who were academics, pretty much all of them, who like communicated ideas to the hoi polloi, the people or something, and that I don't know. Let's let him. He's talking about being an intellectual because I'm pretty sure now he's saying he's an intellectual, right? And let's let an intellectual tell us what being an intellectual is.
Because for a lot of people, it's maybe something you toyed with as a teenager, and it's something you come back to later in life when you have some more time and leisure or something, after a period of desperately trying to make rent money. This.
And can I just say, in my opinion, if there is such a thing as intellectual, right? It's not about how many books you have read. If there is such a thing as an intellectual, it'll be what books did you write and how much of an impact did they make? Do you know what I mean? Like, the life of the mind can be like consuming information, consuming knowledge, whatever. There is academics, obviously, that fucking create knowledge and stuff. But the word intellectual, for me, if I was trying to think what it is, it would be someone that writes books, that challenge shit and create, I don't know, like a discourse or something. This is not my fucking ballpark, by the way. I'm not into this shit. This is just me imagining, but it would be okay. I'm not an intellectual or have any interest. As I said, I'm not even sure intellectuals exist.
This culture that exists on the internet and to some extent in real life of, kind of denigrating people for any pretensions, they may have. And on the other side of that, look, we've all seen movies that depict people who have ridiculous potential. People have ridiculous pretensions and become the butt of the joke, in the movie and what have you. But having ambition and having the vulnerability to say openly that you have that ambition. You know, whatever it is. You know, it's not such a terrible thing for someone to want to be a poet. You know, should they really be the butt of every joke?
Nothing wrong with being a poet. I'm hoping you're going to bring this back to this whole idea of what is an intellectual, and he's an intellectual, and answering the question, which is, I can't remember, fuck, what was the question? The question was like, how does it feel being an intellectual or something?
And, you know, at the same time, there are so many pretensions in our society we're all supposed to take, you know, so tremendously seriously. I mean, white American culture is like that. The idea of the dream, and don't puncture someone's dream, and so on. There are certain forms of, affected innocence, you know, being a dreamer, that are culturally valorized and protected. And there are others that are always kind of, you know, the butt of the jokes. So look, just to dispense with that example, you know, briefly, when I say I was an autodidact in learning Laotian, the Lao language, I mean I had no teacher, I had no school, I had no college.
I think autodidact then means like learning a language by yourself.
College, I went to the library.
I learned something new.
In some cases, I did in fact like make my own resources and textbooks. I can remember going to one library where they had photocopies of handouts that were used in United Nations refugee camps, you know, for the Lao language education materials, and looking at that and being like, okay, what's useful here? And French colonial dictionaries of the language in the French colonial period, you know, Laotian to French, and then figuring out the writing system had changed from that period to the modern period, and figuring out how the spelling system worked, and documents from different eras. I was an autodidact in every possible sense of the word. Maybe, you know, for you, maybe...
I apologize for any of the shit I said before, but I completely misunderstood the word autodidact. So yeah, obviously autodidact, or that is, it's like you teach yourself a language by yourself or something. Well, I was more going on the intellectual. Yeah, I thought this was a question about being an intellectual. I know I'm lost. I get lost sometimes. Honestly, this cunt, right? I sometimes have to watch his videos twice because I'll get lost. And this is quite a simple, straightforward video, but I sometimes get lost in it. So I got lost here. I thought it was about being an intellectual and what it means to be an intellectual. It's going by the title and, you know, the lead up to 5 minutes or something. And it's about being an autodidact. I can't pause a video now and like look up what an autodidact is, but from this video, I'm thinking it means that you teach yourself a language without like a tutor, right?
For a TCAT watching this, or for someone who's watching this, you know, maybe you think it's a joke for someone to call themselves, you know, an autodidact. Maybe sometimes it is ridiculous when people call themselves a cowboy, you know, okay? But what about when we're talking about people who actually wear that hat or wear spurs on their boots for a reason? You know, at some point, the kind of endless cycle of...
I feel like we've gone past the what could have been great about my particular reaction video, because now I'm confused. And if you're confused, you can't really react well. But respect to this guy, up until I got confused, I'm gonna give him the rest of the video, and let's see if it makes any sense to me. I'm not saying he's not making sense, all right? I'm guessing a lot of people watching this will completely been following it. I'm saying me, I've just lost it now. I thought it was about something else. I thought it was about being an intellectual. How? Not why.
Yeah. I mean, undermining other people's, you know, ambitions. That's what we're talking about. Not pretensions, but ambitions. You know, to no end. At some point, it has to stop. At some point, we have to start living in earnest and living without, you know, really irony for the sake of irony. I mean, the other question I raised, this comes up in all kinds of contexts, is the issue of not making excuses for yourself. And I mean, this is almost just saying the same thing, but inside out. that you're not making excuses for yourself and you're not making excuses for others. I think that's what it leads to. What does it mean? So, if you get an A plus in history, you can get an A plus repeating complete mythology.
I got a C in history, and I can tell you why I got a C. I paid no fucking attention in history class because the teacher was a cunt, and I just wasn't into it. If I had a good teacher, maybe. I'm not blaming, I'm not blaming the teacher. I just wasn't fucking into it, right? But anyway, like, I paid someone some money for the textbook, like the night before or the day before the exam, this GCSE. I was like, I'll give you fucking £10 for the fucking. I don't know if it was £10, maybe it was £5. It was something stupid though. That's like a lot of money when you're a kid, for the fucking textbook. And I just read like a few chapters, just a few chapters. And you know what? I was so lucky. Every single fucking chapter that I read came up. Well, most of the chapters came up in the fucking exam. And I was like, I just read this fucking last night, and I got a fucking C. I would have got nothing. I mean, like, that C in history has done nothing for me. You know what I mean? But it's just a offshoot story. Carry on the BAS LE CIEL, sorry. I'm just confused and bored. I'm sorry.
About history, you can just get an A plus. Oh, okay. Let's pick a not too provocative.
I might have distracted something from an important point, because he has been making some important points throughout the video. So let's go back and just see.
For the sake of irony. I mean, the other question I raised, this comes up in all kinds of contexts, is the issue of not making excuses for yourself. And I mean, this is almost just saying the same thing, but inside out. That you're not making excuses for yourself, and you're not making excuses for others. Yep. I think that's what it leads to. What does it mean? So, if you get an A plus in history, you can get an A plus repeating complete mythology about history. You can just get an A plus. Oh, okay. Let's pick a not too provocative. We were talking recently about Thomas Jefferson. So you.
Okay, we're talking about Thomas Jefferson now. So, okay, he's on a tangent. I'm going to go on a fucking tangent. So, the headmaster's son at my school, okay, and we had this thing called dual award science, right? So instead of having like chemistry, physics and biology, you got like 2 GCSEs, but kind of for all 3, And now these different tiers of the exams, yeah? And one of them, so the foundation, I don't know, maybe if you fucking nail it, you get a C. I don't even fucking know. Then you have the intermediate, and if you nail that, maybe you get a B, but you need the advanced to get like a A or an A star, yeah? Anyway, like, they're reading out the results, right? The fucking headmaster's son, yeah? And he was in my physics class, because I was, for some reason, okay at maths and physics at that point in my life, right? And they're reading out, like, I think they went, like, for some reason, they said, like, the who got the best in the advance, and it was like 99% or something. Headmaster's son, right? And then like, they read out the foundation, fucking 100%, headmaster's son. Then they said the intermediate, and it was fucking me, and I was just like, yes, fucking yes, and like I point him good. Fuck yeah, like yeah, I like point yeah, and his face was so fucking pissed off. But just to give an example of this guy, right, he did like design as well as one of his GCSEs, right? And he had like you did like 3 projects, right? And they'd score you, and it was like one was for 34 points percent, one was for 33, and the other one's for 33, and he got 33. And he got 33. And on the one that was 34, he got 33. So do you know what he did? He did a whole new project because he had an option to do a 4th one. And he got 34. But that's how dedicated he was. So you must understand it. Someone little fucking kind of like me, beating him in the intermediate by like 1% or something. It was just like, even now, I'm fucking an old dude, right? This is a long time ago. I get joy right now. Fucking thinking about that. It's like something will bring me joy till the day that I fucking die, man. Okay, I distracted too much, but he's going off on a tangent too, so you know what I mean. Tangent squared, you know.
You can write you can get an A+ in high school or university saying that Thomas Jefferson was the greatest president of the United States. What about First Nations? What about American Indians? What about the indigenous people? I mean, I think exactly the point is,
for anyone watching who's like a real BAS LE CIEL follower, we've had the Lao, we've had the Cree, we've had the First Nations. I'm waiting for Mothers Against Drink Driving.
you know, you're not making excuses for yourself. You're not making the society you live in. If you're a real intellectual, you're not going to be satisfied with reading a textbook that just...
I'm sorry, I knew this would descend into mockery in the end. I'm being a bit mockeryness and perhaps like stepping on his words. So I'll go back a little bit. Last time I'm going to go back, okay.
Recently about Thomas Jefferson, you know, so you can write you can get an A+ in high school or university saying that Thomas Jefferson was the greatest president of the United States. What about First Nations? What about American Indians? What about the indigenous people? I mean, I think exactly the point is, you know, you're not making excuses for yourself. You're not making the society you live in. If you're a real intellectual, you're not going to be satisfied with reading a textbook that just says Thomas Jefferson is the greatest president for reason X, Y, and Z, or even writing your essay repeating this kind of propaganda and getting the A+. You're inevitably going to have that dissatisfaction. You're going to hold yourself to a higher standard, and then when you find out that other side of the story, now you're going to be looking at your history professor. You're going to be looking at your school. You're going to be looking at the political system in the country you live in, and you're going to be holding it to a higher standard also. It's the...
Yeah, like I stand by everything I said in the beginning of this video, that he was fucking nailing this video, right? He was nailing it, and this is what I'm saying, he can make some great videos. I have been lost for the last bit. I'm still lost now, and this stuff that he's talking about, I'm still like Thomas Jefferson and fucking A+ and shit. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not on board anymore. But I hope you realize, if you've not seen a BAS LE CIEL video before, you see that first bit, every now and again he'll actually keep it short and sweet in a way, and just keep the fucking diamonds. You know what I mean? Like, we're in the shit now. Okay, we got fed the diamonds first. Now we're in the shit. But it was diamonds for a long time. It was. You know what I mean? It was, and this is why he's got some fucking talent sometimes, eh?
You're not making excuses for yourself, and you're maybe not accepting the socially sanctioned or socially celebrated excuses that exist in your own. So I think this...
But also, I respect this, because it's like, this is the whole point of making a real video, where you just talk. Some of it's going to be good, some of it's going to be shit. And you know what most people do? They edit out the shit. I don't fucking edit out the shit. He doesn't edit out the shit. That's great. That's why, because he's done a diamond video until about 6 minutes. Then it's just been fucking shit flying out his arse. I can't keep up with it, you know, could be me, not him, could be me. But you know what most people would do? They would edit it. They'd edit out this other shit. He's kept it in. You know what I mean? Respect for that, man. That's what I really want from YouTube. I want people just talking and me listening to them. And when you talk to real people and when real people talk, a lot of what they say is going to just be shit. And you just pick out the good shit. But editing it all down loses something, you know?
Where do you think that comes from? I mean, because, I don't know, can you expect a kid who goes through education, the same education system, who has parents that don't really emphasize independent thought, independent learning? I don't know.
Look, it's a great question.
Yeah.
But I don't have an answer.
Fucking great shit. Respect to BAS LE CIEL for this. I came on thinking I'm gonna fucking take the piss out of a BAS LE CIEL and it's gonna be so much fun. And it was fun, but really I didn't get to take the piss out of him, because what he did here is actually make a really good video. If you just took the last 4 minutes off or something, or whatever it was. Fucking great video from a BAS LE CIEL. Go on his channel. I'll put a link somewhere, description or something. Go and check some bitch shit out. In my opinion, it's about like a 20% good video, 80% what the fuck video. But I'd say even then it's about 50% entertaining videos. I need to say, like, I don't agree with some of the shit that he did recently with his channel, but you know, that's not for me to judge. Whatever, you know, fucking. What is he making now? That's what's important. You know, this is a 2018 video. I'd be interested if he really came back to YouTube and really started making videos again. But I guess he's probably a little bit hesitant about, like, fuck, if I say the wrong thing, I'm gonna get like deleted or something. What I would do if I was him is like, go on fucking Rumble, right? You can put videos on Rumble or something, and you can put the videos on YouTube. And if he thinks there's anything a bit too spicy, you could like just edit that bit out and say, go to Rumble to see this bit. This is what a lot of channels did over the years. Okay. So that's my end. That's the end of me reacting to being an intellectual. How, not why. It went very differently to how I expected. I've like, you know, I'm like, got like a newfound respect, or remembered. I've remembered some of the respect that I got for this guy, and it's number one. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll just go and talk to the fucking camera. No fucking script, as far as I know. And he doesn't edit any of the crazy shit out. That's fucking. There's something to be taken from that. And what's the second thing? I'll let you work out what the second thing is.